Hello. Thank you very much for joining me today. How are you doing? I hope you're doing good. I saw this video pop up today on TikTok. And I thought that's just a provocative question, very intriguing. I wanted to react to it. Is the USA finally third world? Let me see his name real quick. Shout out to Christopher Claflin. Okay. That took me way too long to sound out. Let's see. Maybe that's because I'm living in a third world country. Third world education. All right. Let's see what he has to say.
Oh my gosh, it finally happened because Americans are on the brink of bankruptcy, and this money story just keeps going from bad to worse. Because first is inflation, which is up in the month of August at 3.67%. And you might think to yourself, well, that's no big deal, it's just 3.67%. But this is your money, and it means for every $1,000 that you make, you're really only able to buy $963 worth of goods because that remaining $300 and change is just inflated away. And to make matters worse, the inflation in our
Okay, wow, inflation, big topic of debate. It does say, and I will say, he said August, okay, inflation has been coming down. So I'm just going to acknowledge that. But of course, inflation is a funny thing because first of all, the natural order of things is that with productivity and the thing called, like the computer, these type of technological advances, don't know if you've heard of it, the internet, these type of things that make manufacturing and production more efficient, should make things cheaper. But despite technological advances, everything's getting quickly more and more expensive.
Our economy isn't confined to just avocado toast or the occasional cup of coffee. It's actually taken root in the most important things that we buy every day, like gasoline and the cost of keeping a roof over your head. Gasoline.
Right. Gas and houses. I mean, gas is so volatile, it's hard to even say. It's amazing how here in the USA, a few years ago, gas was like $5 a gallon and everyone thought we were literally all going to, I don't know, die might be a little bit dramatic, but it was scary. And it's come back down, but then it went back up. But as far as housing prices, my God, that's the really scary one.
Prices in this country are getting out of control, and rent prices have increased every month for the last 40 months. That's over 3 years of month over month. The basic cost of having a place to live has increased.
I'm sure they increase. I mean, 40 months, that almost makes it sound not as bad as it is, to be honest. I'm sure it is increased almost every month for a long time. But with exception of a few months during like recession.
But wait, it gets worse. Because the Federal Reserve, who is in charge of making sure that the economy doesn't go spiraling down the toilet drain, which, newsflash, they're not very good at their job. They're in charge of combating inflation, and they're trying to. And right now, they're only
well, they only started trying to. They stepped up to bat a little bit late. Just a little late. It was kind of obvious. The government was printing trillions of dollars during the pandemic, and it was just, it's transitory. It'll pass, and it didn't.
Option to make that happen is by raising interest rates, which means if you still don't have a house but you're close, if you buy one now, the cost of your mortgage is going to be higher than it's ever been compared to what the cost of your home is, at least if we look at the last 10 years. But thanks to inflation, in many states, the cost of the home itself is close to or at all-time highs.
Oh,
but
yeah.
Wait, it gets even worse, because the Federal Reserve recently released studies showing that household savings in the United States has been going down every month for the last 2 years. Because back in 2021, Americans had roughly $2.1 trillion in savings collectively. And as of July...
I will say, this is a little bit cherry-picked. I did not... I feel like I'm like a fact checker watching this. I try to pay good attention to the economy and stuff. But, of course, the pandemic... Americans saved record amounts of money, partly because it was being airdropped into everybody's bank accounts, but also because we couldn't spend it on any type of, and the rest of the world, of course, but here we're talking about America, going to events and stuff. People saved up a lot of money. So compared to that, ever since the economy opened back up fully, savings has gone down, which is actually good. When we're talking about inflation, we need savings to go down. It's kind of ironic. Like we need them. There's no good out. You know what I mean? We're pretty much screwed no matter what, because we need unemployment to go up and savings to go down in order to stop inflation. But guess what? If unemployment goes up and savings go down, that's not good either. That's very bad.
Of 2023, that number has dropped to 198 billion. And Americans collectively have been drawing down on their savings at a rate of around $100 billion a month, meaning by the end of September 2023, that's this month, US households will run out of savings collectively. But wait, it gets worse. Because in October, student loans, which have been on pause since the pandemic, are scheduled to kick back in again. So your money now
I'm a little bit afraid of that. I'm not going to lie.
buys you less stuff, while the Federal Reserve raises interest rates against you if you're trying to buy a home, while the cost of rents.
I am trying to buy a home. It's highly, highly inconvenient timing. Horribly inconvenient timing. And it's like, oh, we'll wait for rates to go down. Oh, they went up. They went up again. Yep, the rates, yep. Yeah, oh, yeah, that 6% was looking pretty nice now. It's 8% now.
Keep going up every month, while at the same time student loans are coming into play, so you're going to have.
Actually, that just reminded me, the other day I saw some clickbait thing. I think it might have been clickbait, but I want to know if they're back on pause. Hold on, let me look this up, because I saw a notification from a news thing that said they were being paused again, which I'm crossing my fingers. I'm gonna find out real quick. They are not paused, indeed. Okay, that was something else. It was that Biden is canceling some more student loan, but that only affects 125,000 people. And I'm guessing I'm not one of them. So, damn. Bad news for me. Let's continue.
Less money in your pocket, and your money doesn't go as far to begin with because of all the inflation. And that's it. I'm done. That is the bleak state of the United States.
And the thing about inflation as well is that just because it goes down, and don't think I don't recognize this, just because it goes down doesn't mean prices go down. It just means they stop going up as quick. So everything is still way more expensive and still getting more expensive, just not quite as quick. We're pretty screwed.
States. There's so much more to that story. There's more?
So much.
I can't give them more bad news. They're not going to want to follow my channel if I just have nothing but depressing shit.
No, you got to tell them everything. Tell them about corporate profits.
There's more. Because it would be one thing if Americans as a whole were entering into financial dark times altogether as one United States, but that's not what's actually happening. Because in 2022 and 2023, corporate profits have been at or near all-time highs.
And this is what I'm seeing, you know, reacting to all these videos from around the world. It seems like everybody or a lot of people are in the same boat, similar boat. I'm sure here in America, it's probably even worse than some other countries because of less regulations on corporations. But yeah, the wealth inequality, the wealth distribution, which is part of, you know, what he's talking about, unbelievably out of whack. It should, people, honestly, it kind of feels like there might be like an uprising of outrage. That's what it feels like we're coming up on. Because as far as the wealth distribution, the people over the last 4 years, the people at the top, they're doing real good. And the people at the bottom, they're not. Or the people in the middle are not. The people at the bottom are not. Everybody, but at the tippity top, those people are doing amazing.
Portion of our society is doing better than they've ever done before. And I personally am all for getting rich. I want to have more money. I want you to have more money. I think we should live in a country where we all have the opportunity to be doing better tomorrow than we did yesterday, collectively. Some of us aren't going to make.
And I still do feel like we have that opportunity. It's just harder and harder every day. Harder and harder every freaking day.
But if we live in a place where all of us have the chance to, that's exciting. But that's not what's happening. A small group of people are getting richer not by providing more value to society, but by extracting value from it. For example, Blackstone, a private equity firm on Wall Street, led by this man, Stephen Schwarzman, who's the CEO of Blackstone. This guy took home over $250 million in profits in 2022. Pfizer's CEO, Albert Bourla, got a 36% pay increase in 2022 and took home $33 million. And we all know why Pfizer did so well in 2021 and 2022. And if that's not disaster capitalism, I don't
What was that? Why did they do so well?
know what is. Because what's happening in the United States definitely feels like it's unsustainable. And it also sadly
That is absolutely true. It does feel totally unsustainable. I have no idea how people, especially, my God, I mean, it's bad enough for millennials, Gen Zers, and then to even think to the next generation after that, I have no idea. I don't understand. There has to be, mainly with housing, there has to be a housing crash. There has to be, which is bad, but the alternative might be even worse, which is that people, I don't know, or maybe all the boomers die and have to sell their houses, and maybe that crashes the market eventually.
feels like the government is on the side of corporations rather than the people. Because remember the Pfizer CEO that took home $33 million last year? In that same year, 2022, Pfizer signed a $3.2 billion deal with the US government, meaning our tax dollars are funding Pfizer and helping their company hit record profits, allowing them to give their CEOs massive pay boosts with money that comes from US taxpayers. And it's really frustrating because I wasn't a great student in school, but I seem to remember the role of government being something like regulating big businesses to protect the people from big businesses overstepping their bounds.
Not here in America.
And doing things that are just not good for society. Right now, in 2023,
In theory, there are some laws about that.
it seems like government is aligned with those same corporations.
For the most part, the government's just bought out by, I mean, people know, I don't even think this is controversial. I think everybody knows this on both sides of the aisle.
At the expense of the American people. So the question is, what are we all going to do if things keep going this way? Is the answer stop buying the avocado toast, which is keeping us all in poverty? Or maybe we all just start collecting rainwater so we can grow our gardens off-grid to sustain ourselves?
Actually, that's illegal in 11 states.
It's illegal to collect rainwater in 11 states?
You're kidding. You're kidding. I need to look this up. I'm asking ChatGPT. That just sounds the most free country in the world. You can do anything but collect water for yourself. Is collecting water illegal in any USA state? I'm doing it live, folks. In some US states, collecting rainwater without a permit is illegal or restricted. Man, something does seem like it's gone wrong.
You can't do it.
Are you kidding me?
Not kidding. And actually, you live in one of those 11 states.
Well, shit.
I think I'm going to go collect some rainwater. I don't like people telling me that I can't do things, especially things that I know doesn't hurt anybody. There's no reason why I shouldn't be able to go outside. It's raining right now. I should go collect. I'm going to go put a bucket outside, guys. This got me fired up. Damn. It's all very scary to think about. Thank you for watching. I hope that wasn't super boring. And I hope I didn't come across as like arrogant or acting like a know-it-all. I was just putting in my 2 cents. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Goodbye.